Good evening, Entropians. Julian McBain here, and tonight we are going to be doing some Merry Mayhem. So, yeah, I changed my mind. I decided to get into Merry Mayhem. It hadn't been my original plan, but, you know, I was thinking about it. I really enjoyed Halloween Mayhem, so I thought I'd give it a shot. So, here we go. And I've already started. As you can see, I'm down to about almost just under 12 hours. So we're just going to do kind of a half-hour stint in this the Annihilation and see where we can get. I believe, where's my point? Oh, progression pause. It's not going to show me my point, so let's register here. And so I'm doing Mayhem 2, which I think it's not technically beneath my level, but I mean, honestly, the Daikaba here really don't constitute a threat. I apologize, I realize the wood stove's going really warm right now, so I'm layered a little too heavy. So the Daikaba here are less of a threat than the zombie Phoephoid things. They were like zombie mutants, whatever they were, for Halloween Mayhem, but I assume that level 2 would be the same as it was for Halloween Mayhem. Well, they rebalanced things a little bit. It looks like Mindark realized that it was just a bit overboard having 14s for level 2 with the level requirements they had, so a lot of the people that were in Category 2 are now in Category 3. I technically could have fought in Category 3, but I was qualified for 2. And at first, when I first came in, I thought that the current 2 would be identical to the Halloween 2, and it ended up being level 10 Daikabas, which of course my armor is the perfect proof against, so even these level 10 Daikabas can't do shit against them. And honestly, I don't think they do quite as much damage as the Daikaba over by Fort Troy, because I think level 9 Daikabas can hurt me on a regular basis. But that's okay, I'm still getting the evade skills. I'm a little over-armored, which means that, of course, I'm not playing super eco, which is fine. But the point here is I wanted to compete. I wanted to do the 15-hour stint, see what the prizes were. So far, things are going really well. I've got 6 Christmas strong boxes, which I'm going to end up selling because I don't use them. I did on my first day. In fact, within my first hour, I got a 136 ped global, and then I got an 814 ped Hoth. I even took a picture of it. If I ever figure out how to edit videos, I'll like put a little patch showing the picture of it. I about shat myself when that happened. In fact, I still have all the Shrap sitting in my storage terminal, so I think what I'll do is after, as we're coming to the end of our time here, and throw a little We Happy Few reference in, as we come to the end of this, what I'll do is I will take a couple seconds and I'll just show you the Shrap in my storage terminal. I added a little extra to it, so I'm trying to kind of figure out about how much I go through and how much ped that they're actually giving up. Because these Daikaba are looting really well, which tells me that I'm right in the perfect spot for a loot here. As we all know, if our skill level matches what we're opposing, Mindark kind of rewards us for good gameplay and increases the amount of reward they give us. So yeah, this is my second attempt at this video. My first attempt, everything was going pretty well, but I was trying to. Sorry about that, guys. Housefly. I was trying to describe something, and it came out totally not the way I wanted it to. And so I decided to nuke that video and start over. But before I get into that, there is something that needs to be addressed, and this is possibly an issue for everyone. It's a matter, and this is going to get a little political. I try to stay nonpartisan in my videos, and this is a nonpartisan matter. This directly affects all video gamers. So, recently in Sweden, they outlawed loot boxes. January 1st, loot boxes are no longer allowed in Sweden. Now, Mindark has managed to get around part of this They're no longer allowed to sell strongbox keys to people in Sweden. They can sell them to anyone else. But strong boxes and strongbox keys are not available to the Swedes after 1 January. Which is terrible, but as a U.S. citizen, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. That being said, there is a senator of New Hampshire here in the United States that also wants to outlaw loot boxes, which is patently absurd, because they want to apply a different standard in video games that is applied than those that have applied to trading cards for 50 years. And so I am asking you to advocate for our games developers and tell if you live in the United States, talk to your congresspeople and tell them to keep their hands off our loot boxes. Just because some of us don't use them doesn't mean that it's not it's not something that some people enjoy. And I understand where they're going with it. It's gambling. No, if that's gambling, so is buying a pack of Magic the Gathering cards. Okay? This isn't acceptable. They're trying to find an excuse to regulate an industry they don't understand. So please, contact your congresspeople. You have a delegation, use them. Write letters, write emails, I don't care what you do, petition them. Or the way we do things in video games could dynamically change over the beliefs and actions of what I'm sure is just a pissed off parent. Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox. That was my 5-minute political blurb. Once again, you'll notice it was nonpartisan. Thank you for bearing with me. So, I'm trying to remember. Oh, so I noticed yesterday and the day before, Calypso gave up Christmas gifts. Didn't do it today, at least not when I logged in, which is fine. I don't expect them to just keep throwing crap at us. Day number 1, they gave us the Scum-Tomped candy, which I'm sure Scum-Tomped. How the hell did that happen? Back up. It's like I had 1, and then I had 5. At first it was the Scum-Tomped candy, and then after the Scum-Tomped candy, I think they gave a couple of strong boxes. And today it was nothing, and that's perfectly fine. I don't expect my nerd to just give out money, you know what I'm saying? But I do know that, like, Cyrene has gifts to give out, so I strongly recommend you at least stop by Cyrene to receive those gifts. Which, they're basically more Scum-Tomped candies. They're just they're a little sack. Which is fine. And I mean, honestly, really spend some time on Cyrene. I really believe it is a completely underutilized planet, and it's well put together. I think that the mob wander patterns are a lot more erratic than on Calypso, and in some ways I believe that makes it, in a lot of ways, it makes it a lot more challenging, especially when you're fighting robots and not wearing armor for fighting robots, as I tend to. But like their dailies. Every day you can go there and earn 50 peck in perception, 50 peck in 2 other skills that I can't remember off the top of my head. I mean, there's a reason I spent a month there. And on top of that, the loot pool is actually really good. It's probably similar to what I'm getting here in Mayhem, and I just made, 7 ped? So, I strongly encourage everyone to visit Cyrene for a period of time, kill some of the mobs at their level, and see how they like it. The downside is whenever you need, when your weapons run out, you gotta come back to Calypso, or you gotta pay the shipping fees. Because Cyrene's dead, so of course there's no economy. Which is really a shame. And for newer players, it's really good too, because, especially for newer players, those 3 skills are fairly important. You have a guaranteed pet value chip for every time you complete it. And if you're on the starter island, they're all level 2s all around you on the island. You don't even have to leave the island. They're right there. And so I feel that the way Cyrene was organized was fairly well done. There are some definite glitches, especially to the quest system. I went to find an NPC, and the NPC wasn't there after I logged out. So that's a mild frustration, and I don't know if that maybe the NPC moves and I just don't know, and I haven't found them yet. But since I can't get a standard marker 338, not bad. It's just something I'm gonna have to deal with. Is what it is, you know what I mean? So, I mean, realistically, it's a very good planet. It's got a great loot pool, which means that even if you TT everything, you're gonna come out even, at least. At least I did. And I was able to carefully, the way the leveling goes there, I was able to carefully pick something that was at my skill level, so I was also skilling up better. Maybe it's just because I found the sweet spot for that time period, and that's entirely possible. And if that's the case, then maybe Cyrene's not the place for you right now, but I encourage you to visit it. Which brings me to kind of my next set of points. So I have a set of iron missions I'm going to finish, or at least one of them. I'm going to get rid of one of them. I don't care which. It's probably going to be the curbs at this point. But they're a thorn in my craw. I hate having unfinished work. It drives me nuts. So I'm probably going to finish the curbs after I'm done Mayhem. And then after the curbs are done, I'm going to head to Toulon. And the main reason I'm heading to Toulon next is because I'm reading Dune. Never read Dune before. I strongly encourage you to read Dune. And I strongly discourage you from watching the movie. And it's not because I'm opposed to, movies as an art form over books. It's because, quite frankly, the movie sucked. I watched about 10 minutes of it, and I was like, no, I'm done. Click. I happened to salvage copies of all 3 of Dune's books out of a stack of books that were really badly damaged. The Dune books were not so badly damaged. I managed to rehabilitate them. That took some time. It took some doing, and I don't think the must smell will ever completely come out, but that's okay. It adds to their character, and they're well loved. I mean, the damage to the cover and some of the pages is obvious. They've been read probably a million times, and that's good. That lends to the character of the book. But I've been reading the first Dune, just Dune, and wow. If I open the book, I have a hard time closing it. Like, I am bringing it to work with me. I will turn around and return to work to pick it up if I forget it there. That's how much I'm enjoying this book. True story. And, of course, Dune is a desert planet, obviously. So now, since Toulon is based on Arabian Nights, I want to visit Toulon and kind of get that kind of out there feel. The tough environment feel. Because a desert's a type of environment that I would have a hard time with, even in real life. And I'm not saying because I'm adverse to challenge. And I would love to go to Wasteland Weekend sometime. I really would. The issue is that I have heat management problems, right? Like, if you put me in a good snowsuit or coveralls, which is what I have, I am comfortable working out in 20 below zero. It doesn't even faze me. Whatever. I've walked a mile to the grocery store in 40 below. That was a little uncomfortable. I walked to work one day in 42 below, and I had one of my at the time I was working for a gas station, and one of my customers came in for his morning coffee and ripped my ass because he realized there was no car for me out there. Because I didn't call him to pick me up. Didn't even have the guy's phone number, but he was like, why didn't you call me to pick you up? At 4 in the morning, or 5 in the morning. So think about that for a second. This is Montana. Back when I lived in Montana. I am in Vermont again now. But Cold weather doesn't really phase me. You layer properly, you put the right gear on. Hot weather, you can only take off so many clothes. Before it becomes a felony, well, not in Vermont, but in most jurisdictions, you can only take off so many clothes before it becomes a felony. And in a desert, you don't want to. You want to wear appropriate clothing and have a shit ton of water on you. Which, of course, is an appropriate theme in the book Dune. So if you haven't read Dune, I strongly encourage you to do so. I really do. Not just because of the steampunk or cyberpunk themes that kind of cross and mesh in it, but it's just a brilliant work of science fiction. And we all know, if you're playing Entropia Universe, you've got to enjoy science fiction. I mean, look at us. What is this? Right? Science fiction. Which kind of reminds me of a Beast of Burden. Was this a Beast of Burden? Hang on, let's like take half a second. Let's look at these Daikiba. Oh, question marks. Lovely. I'll have to look at Daikiba like at Twin Peaks or south of Troy at some point, just so we can see. I think it's it's quote unquote messing up the Investifo because they're merry. Come on, MindArc, you could have just copied and pasted the description. Oh, that's 7 ped, that's not bad. You could have at least copied and pasted the regular Daikiba description. I mean, really? Oh, but anyway, other places I want to visit. I need to visit the moon. The Arcadia moon. And part of it's because I have 35 Arcadia moon deeds. But another part is because I like a lot of the things that it looked like Planet Arcadia was trying when they created the moon. I think that it has a long way to go, at least as far as last I checked, but I do think that it will be worth my time to visit over time and see what's going on there. You know, the moon's not paying out very often. That's okay. They're still not, they haven't sold all the deeds yet, which doesn't surprise me, because it was a risk, and it's a risk that some of us were willing to take and some weren't. I do hope that at some point they'll open up to the current deed holders. It looks like they had set up for some apartments or shops, and it looked like there was a couple land areas that they were developing there. But I wish that the Planet Partner or MindArc would let us know how many of these deeds are left, and what are you going to let us do with them? Because you can't trade them right now, which is fine. But I want to know how many are left. I want to know how much further we have to go. Because I don't believe in assumed flops. If it flops, someone screwed up. Maybe it was in advertising, maybe it was in development, maybe it was slow release or too fast to release. If it flops, especially in this game, someone screwed up. They didn't put enough into it. 609, not bad. Because it doesn't take too much to make something successful in this game. I mean, hell, big industries makes all kinds of money off players because they take the time. They put in the effort. Hell, they have employees willing to transport newbies to their sweating fields, and they offer high dollar, like twice the going rate for sweat. And that draws people to their fields. And when they kill the mob, they pay the tax, they receive the taxes on it. I mean, how brilliant is that? it doesn't take a lot of intelligence to do well, both as a player and a developer in this game. There's enough for everyone. And I'm not saying that this game is going to spontaneously generate money. That's not how it works. What I mean is, there's always going to be players who are just in it to play the game. They don't care what they spend. They spend a fixed amount every month, like $15. And they just want to play it like a normal MMO that's a little more relaxing. It's a lot more chill, very adult environment. And by adult, I don't mean Boom Chicka Wow Wow or some garbage like that. I'm talking, you know, mature people who, for the most part, all of us have day jobs, right? We understand we've got the 2.5 kids. This is our stress relief so we don't kill someone. IRL. And they're the consumers. And for those that want to provide product, there will always be a market. Whether they're landowners, or they're crafters, or they provide taxi services. Which, of course, I mean, that's a low-income job, and it's a low-income job in real life, too, right? But, well, no, I guess some taxi drivers actually do really well if they know how to do their job. No, I can't say that. I'm not a taxi driver, so I don't know the dynamics of taxis. So I'm not going to assume anything, but I'm willing to bet there are some taxi drivers that are paid better than others because they receive the tips. That's what I'm trying to say, and I'm trying to say it badly because I'm about 4/5 of the drink in. You can become powerful in this game. And you can make money in this game. But you have to do one of these things. You have to put in the time, or you have to put in the money, or some combination of the two. Because with enough money, you could just chip in all your skills, and now you're fighting as an Uber, and you're doing fine with the best equipment, right? And you're fighting over by the oil field, or you're dominating 200 robots. And, you know, every shot's a global. You know, paid in Uber, which I don't think anyone's quite that much cash to dump in. Or, you use that money, you use it wisely, you buy an OLA here on Calypso, or another land area on Arcadia. Cyrene has a land area, but it's not up for sale. I think it's in trust, back to Mind Arc. But you know, you take that and you seed it with mobs, and you invite players and you collect the taxes on it. And from what I understand, most land areas in this game, I mean, the average land area on Calypso will cost you about 20 grand. Which is not nothing. I mean, that's a chunk of change. 20,000 US dollars is not anything to sneeze at. But from what I understand, if you do the job right, you know, you average 3 to 4 hours of work on this a day, which is a lot. I will throw that out there. It's not nothing. But 3 to 4 hours a day, 7 days a week, that's 28 hours a week, and you'll make your money back in 2 years. 2 to 3, I think, is the average going for a land area. Which, from what I've seen, that's what a lot of owners do. They buy the land, and they work it for 3 to 4 years, and they sell it off, and they walk away with the cash. Which, you know what, good for them. But what you could do is, you know, you buy the land, you work it, and you wait for it to pay itself off, and you know, maybe the first 4 years you work with one, and then someone else sells their OLA, so you buy another, and then you have 2, and now you're putting in maybe 6 to 8 hours, hopefully not 8 hours a day, because that makes it a full-time job, and you know, you'll still be making 20 to 25,000 a year, and that, you know, playing a video game, that's nothing to bitch about, but it's no super life. But I think that once you have one, I think that expansion does not require a huge amount of extra work. And if you're an OLA owner that's watching this one, thank you. If you're a land area owner that's watching my shit, thank you. But please also correct me, because I hate giving bad advice. But, you know, finding that balance, you could, I mean, I know there's at least one player in big industries that makes their whole living off this game, just managing land areas. So, proof it can be done. That's your proof of concept, ladies and gentlemen, right there. No. What more could you ask for? So, this is what I get for tabbing out. Oops. That's okay. We're going to kill these two off, and I think I'm going to call it, because we're nearing that half-hour-ish mark. But yeah, and I mean, the only thing you really have to keep in mind is Entropia Universe is a video game. So if you are going to put the cash into it, keep in mind that cash could just disappear. Which I guess is true of anything. I mean, you can throw it in the lottery or the stock market or something like that, but it's... EU is 15 years old. Which is awesome, because it means that MindArc did not fold for doing stupid things. But there's always the threat of change. Change that will be detrimental to the video game industry. In particular, the style of video game, which is fairly unique. Only MindArc and the makers of Second Life really have a real money environment. So please, if you see something that threatens our way of life as Entropians, contact the people that make the rules and tell them to cut the shit. I know, I got back on the soapbox, guys. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for putting up with me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. If you have any commentary on what I've discussed tonight, of course, you are welcome to comment back. I am going to ask that if you do make a comment, even if you're trolling me or you're going to thrash my theories or what I said, try to keep it clean. I do want to kind of move toward a more family-friendly environment, kind of. Not necessarily, you know, where it's completely sterile, but you know, you understand what I mean here. Keep it rated T for T. Let's put it that way. And then, of course, also hit the little bell so you know when I post, which at this point is pretty much 7 days a week. So there's that. Thank you so much, guys. You all have a wonderful, wonderful night.